there, and welcome to another episode of Pony 411, the podcast all about ponies. Big surprise. And it's going to be a little bit of a smaller episode than usual this week, but joining me is Four String.
Yo, my homies. What's up? Merry Christmas and stuff.
Yeah, Merry Christmas. And of course, I'm Nemesis. It's just the two of us this week because just scheduling stuff, so bear with us if things get a little weird, but whatever.
It's Christmas week. It's Christmas Eve actually right now as we record. So by the time you hear this, it will no longer be Christmas at all. But that's why we had all of our issues with actually getting things going. But yeah, it's whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
At least we put something out.
Got something going.
Many greater podcasts would decide to go on a break this week, but not us. We work through the holidays with no pay. Ho ho ho, mother. Nah. Anywho.
Yeah. Anyway, so we got a few quick hits, and of course we got our episode discussion and a few bits of fan content, including the return of fanfiction because I finally got off my lazy butt and did something.
Woohoo!
Yeah.
Go Nemesis, work yo thing.
Yeah. So, starting off, of course, quick hits. Start this off. After a sizable break, we have a new episode title confirmed for Season 3. It's entitled Keep Calm and Flutter On. And the episode, according to the TV thing for Wii U, it's going to be premiering January 19th. So we're going to get a 2-week hiatus. So, gotta deal with that, guys.
Yeah, the episode title. I think it's funny though how everybody didn't believe it was actually a title until Megan McCarthy actually confirmed it, because everybody's just like, no, there's no way that's actually a thing. There's no actual way that's a thing, and it's a thing.
It's a thing.
And I guess we can look forward to a synopsis in the coming days or weeks or so.
Whatever.
Yeah.
We'll tell you as soon as we know.
Woo!
Moving on, Hasbro has sought the trademark for a new line of pony toys entitled Equestria Girls. The toy line is registered under dolls, doll clothing, and accessories, meaning that it could be similar to the Crystal Empire or Royal Wedding lines. Not sure where this is going. Some people actually thought maybe it's humanized, but I don't think they do that. But you never know.
I just kind of thought when I first saw it, I thought of that Lego Friends thing that Lego came out with about a little while ago. That's like marketed specifically to girls.
Right, yeah.
Of course, this one would be specifically marketed to girls, even though the show is kind of anyway. But so that's kind of what I got out of it. But we'll see. Maybe we'll have some nice little costumes or something. I don't know, like costumes that aren't just like Halloween, because I think Toys R Us sells some Halloween ones. But only during Halloween. I know that because I looked up on the computer the other day. I just put in My Little Pony. I'm like, what do we have in stock? Or not in stock so much as what can we order? What's on our website? And those at least four costumes pop into the main 6. I was like, did not know those existed. So maybe it's something like that. No idea.
Who knows? Also, a trailer for a Bronies documentary produced by Michael Brokoff is now released. To check it out, visit the film's YouTube page,
which I believe is Brony Doc. Sounds right. Yeah, I watched it. I'm excited.
Woo!
I'm also proud to announce I'm pretty sure I was the first person on any news site in the pony fandom to get that story up.
Well done, Kevin.
And if I wasn't, then never mind. But I think I was.
Amazing job.
Yeah, I beat Equestria Day. Actually, that's not very hard.
Oh man.
I mean, they get everything up. It's just sometimes they're a little behind. But it is what it is. Anywho.
And finally, Cadillac Gardens has announced that the con is now on indefinite hiatus for 2013 due to a financial backer pulling out. Alas.
So that was announced by Klisk, the con chair, PR, all that stuff. So who knows? Maybe we won't see a Cadillac Gardens in 2013. Maybe Ohio won't have 3 pony cons next year. After all. Oh no, it's not like we need 3.
I think I heard something about a Massachusetts one or something coming soon. Or something.
Oh, fun. That'd be interesting. Yeah. Just they keep popping up.
Yep. Who knows? Why do they keep going? Whatever. So that's the news for the week. Awesome.
Woohoo. But we hope you're informed.
Yeah. But the real meat of this week's discussion, of course, is the recent Applejack episode entitled Apple Family Reunion, And for once, she wasn't overshadowed. Oh,
Crazy, man.
yeah, no Derpy to mess things up and distract everyone. No cutie Marcus Saders making us, or no. Oh, it's gonna be an Applejack episode. Nope, it's all about Apple Bloom.
That's pretty much how it's been. But finally, she got her due, I
There
suppose.
you.
And
So
I mean, it really was pretty much an Applejack episode.
yeah,
I mean,
whole-
the main six, some of them didn't even appear, and the ones that did were like there for 2 seconds. Pinky's the
Yeah.
only one I think that even had a speaking role. So
right. It surprised me. I thought they they got Ashley Ball there. Why not have Dash speak a few lines? Nope.
nope, just we'll have her focus there.
Yeah.
But,
So. So it's pretty simple. The Apple family is family reunion's coming up, and apparently it's going to be the biggest one ever, and it's going to be a really special one. So Applejack decides to take over planning for it from like Granny, and we get a little scene, looking back at the past ones. We get a little peek into Granny Smith's past, and Applejack is a baby, which made a lot of people have heart attacks right there.
Of course.
Then go back to the present day. Applejack gets all crazy excited about this, doing all these planning, and then all the family shows up. We see Babs Seed again from One Bad Apple. She and Apple Bloom want to catch up, but the problem is, it turns out Applejack kind of went overboard and decided to plan things so intricately that no one has any actual time to actually actually catch up with the rest of the family. So they're all just so busy doing stuff like seven-legged races and quilting and making apple fritters or whatever that they just simply don't have time to actually be a family. And it takes a while, it takes a big accident where basically the barn collapses for Applejack to realize that things are going wrong, and then they have to rebuild the barn. And that's when she realizes what this was really about, and the family together building the barn, and they're finally able to make the memories and take the picture, and that's pretty basic. And then she sends a letter to Celestia about what she learned. It's a pretty straightforward episode. It's not really complicated, so
Yeah, that's pretty accurate.
that's it. So I guess, what'd you think, Four String?
What did I think? Well, I'll tell you what. There was one part of the episode I especially enjoyed, but I'll get to that in a second. It was a solid episode. It wasn't one of my favorites, but it's one of the episodes, and there's other episodes like this in the show that I probably wouldn't remember as much if it weren't for the song. Because because the songs in there, I tend to think of it more highly, fondly, so on and so forth. I'm like that with Winter Wrap Up, actually. That's one of the ones that I'm the episode I'm like, whatever, but the song, really sticks in there. So it's like, oh yeah. There's a couple others like that too. I won't go into detail, but that's kind of what I got from this episode. Is I thought it was a solid episode, but the song I'm in love with, because if you know me, this song is very up my alley in terms of instrumentation. So, of course, I was just loving it. I always knew if Applejack ever got a song, it was probably going to be something like that. And, of course, Daniel Ingram had said in an interview earlier in the year that Applejack was his favorite pony. There was a Rolling Stone interview, but hadn't, done a song yet. So everybody was like, oh yes, she's your favorite pony right now, but you haven't given her a song. Well, here we are finally. The long-awaited song. So that was nice. It was cool seeing all the family at the Apple family, even though it's hard to remember a lot of their names. It was nice to see Brayburn in there, even if he didn't speak at all. I was really hoping he would, get some
Appaloosa.
Yeah, get some Andrew Francis in there. But I was excited to see him, and I guess that's really one of the only ones I recognized off the top of my head. But and also to kind of expand that family to show that the Apple family is quite a big family. It's not, when they say Apple family, it's not just that immediate family. There's quite a bit there, and of course, there's also the thing about Applejack's parents, which I'm sure we'll talk about here later. But that's part of what's going to really make this episode stand out to me is that small part of it. And that's, again, it's a very small part of it, but it's subtle enough. But at the same time, it's something that people like us are going to pick up on. and just run with, because that's just how we are. And good to see Babs back as well. I didn't expect to see her as soon as we did after her debut. So I thought she seemed more like a New York type character than her debut, like the accent, just, or some of her word choice. Just, I think at one point she said "forget about it." I was like, this just sounds like Art doing his New York impressions. But yeah, it was a solid story, solid episode all around. The song was great, and it was good to see Applejack finally get her episode without getting interrupted by anybody. No one really showed her up on this one. It was pretty much just her, and all the other characters in the episode were just, kind of secondary to her. So that was cool.
I have to agree. Pretty much it's just a solid episode. Nothing spectacular about it, but solid, enjoyable, straightforward, but still, nice to see Applejack finally getting something of her own. The song was I like the song, even though it kind of brought back kind of memories of 6th grade square dancing, which are terrifying. But yeah, it was a stupid thing in 6th grade, mandatory square dancing in PE. I don't understand why, but
up in like Washington.
Yeah, I don't get it.
That's surprising. Like, if you lived in like Georgia or something, I'd be like, okay. But like, wow.
I don't get it. I don't know why. Almost all the guys hated it.
Well, I would assume so. We had ballroom dancing, but square dancing definitely didn't come into play there.
Yeah, I don't. Anyway, yeah, I enjoyed it. I still enjoyed the song. I noticed a lot. It was kind of a divisive one. It basically depended on what your musical preferences were. But a lot of people really didn't like the song just because of the style. Other people really loved it. Yeah, it was nice to see all these apples. Some of them we've seen before in the show. Others, including like Rayburn and Babs and all that stuff. And yeah, the little subtle nod that we got, which I guess we should go ahead and talk about. Which if you're probably like me, you probably noticed those 2 shooting stars twice in the episode.
Mm-hmm.
And it turns out a lot of people kind of thought that might have been a nod, and it was confirmed by what's her name, Sibsy.
Yeah, Sibsy.
Yeah, Sibsy. They confirmed. She said that yes, it was a nod to Applejack's parents. Turns out, yeah, and they confirmed parents are actually dead. So we now know for sure. It's no longer a mystery.
Her parents are dead. Smack. Yep. Just wait. I'm sure that's already happened at some point. Yep. Like someone's made a comic with Applejack in it. But if not, then it's going to happen. A lot.
Applejack is the Batmare.
the mayor do well, as it were.
Oh yeah. But yeah, so yeah, we now have this is the episode where everyone's like, they're gonna have to deal with it some way.
Yeah.
And well, they did. They decided she's gone, and it kind of brought back that Lauren Faust herself said. We never really, she's out. I kind of assumed they were just gone, probably dead, but we can't really touch on that in the kids show like that. And it was never really came up. We thought of actually kind of making it so they're like traveling or something, but I guess they decided to go with dead.
Yeah.
D-E-D, dead.
Although I'm sure it'll never be explicitly mentioned in the show, nope. But it was cool to see kind of that nod. That's once again, that's just a subtle nod that only older, fans are going to get. So that was nice to get one of those in this episode. Because I don't really know if there was any others off the top of my head that were like explicitly geared toward that. But it was nice to see them reference it, especially like, even if it's not explicit, it's still, I think that's still really cool for like a show this young, like for kids this young, to actually have kind of a slight reference to that. And, I'm sure even kids, 4 years old might be asking, well, where's Applejack's parents? And it's and when they said, we had all the entire family was coming out, it's like, oh, well, so it's unexpected. I did not expect them to ever actually come out and say it in the show. I mean, like, and when I say it, I don't mean like say it verbally necessarily as much as to say it like subtly, like they did here with the shooting stars and with the the whole family's here type thing. I didn't expect them to ever like say that. I expected to be more of a they're either that they're off far away, they end up coming back, or they're just never heard from ever. This at least is something, and that's interesting. I like that though. That's again unexpected.
And so, any of you fanfic writers who wrote Applejack's parents in, you're wrong.
Yep. It is
So
now
wrong.
canon. You have failed.
Wah wah. Yeah, that's the little thing. Also, I like how the little fruit bat scene is like the bats, which are literally fruit.
I know. I always forget about that until someone mentions it. But like the scene where it happens, I first of all I thought it was a really really cool animation, and plus, I mean that's just hilarious that they're actual fruit bats and they're different colors and all that stuff. That was cool. I really enjoy when they throw in, animals or whatever, kind of like that. They're kind of like literal interpretations and stuff. That was pretty cool. I mean, that's not. I don't want to. I mean, yeah. Okay, yeah. I would say it was pretty creative. Yeah, really, really cool. Now we have more animals to add to the ever-growing lineup of things that are in Equestria, so that's cool also.
Yeah, I just there's also the little gags like they had Spike as a lighter. That was pretty. I like that. Just
I love how they had to click it in first until he. Yeah, that was very funny. I agree.
The other characters, the main six, they popped up briefly. Only Pinky got to say a line and she also spit out a bee.
Yeah, well, I mean, Pinky's got to fill her quota of "What are you doing, Pinky? No, stop!" moments of the episode, and this was it, I guess.
One thing I noticed, I'm not sure, but I think when they had Dash, filling those little water buckets, I think they reused the animation from way back in season 1.
It looked like it. That's what I was thinking.
Like identical animation. It would not surprise me. They do this sort of stuff all the time in animation.
Exactly. Yeah. I kind of expected it. Like when I saw it, I'm like, that looks familiar. Oh yeah, that's just that again. I'd be surprised if they reanimated that.
No. Yeah. So the only other one who had a speaking part was Pinky, which again surprised me. In Fluttershy and Twilight were both just not there for whatever reason. And I'm wondering if that kind of reminds me, because this is actually episode 9. And some reason episode 8 has not aired yet for whatever reason, so I'm wondering if something's went on, but that's just me going crazy. But I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm wondering if episode 8 is going to be the next one, which we talked about earlier, if that's actually episode 10 or that 11, sorry, because Spike at your service.
Right. Yeah, I have no idea.
Which is interesting. So I'm thinking we're going to get 2 Applejack episodes in a row, although one of them's also a Spike episode.
Yeah, there's gonna be a lot of. Well, I remember that happening last season. I forget if it was with Fluttershy or Rainbow Dash, where there was like 2 episodes in a row that were like
Dash.
Yeah, okay.
It was Mysterious Ne'er-do-well and May the Best Pet win right after another.
Right. So I mean, it's not unheard of. If people don't like Applejack though, this is gonna be trying for them. Power through it, my friends. You'll be okay.
I did like the little looks in the past and just kind of Granny Smith just kind of stretching her face back. So, oh look, she's young again.
Yeah, that was a nice nod.
Oh, and the face when the fruit bats came out. That reminds me of the face she made. Just the lip, just.
Yes. Oh yes.
That's so funny.
Oh yes. There were a lot of fun little gags in this episode that I kind of forget about until you mention them again.
Yeah, the teeth and the other pony I can't remember the name of, but
yes. Yeah, and Big Mac was nice in this. I like how when they asked that they're heading toward the West Orchard or whatever that, and you just know, you see Big Mac. He's like, he's just gonna say, "Yep." I'm sure enough.
And also him eating the fritter, just like looking around.
Oh, and of course, by the way, speaking of eating fritters, Applejack as a baby.
Yeah.
I can't decide who's cutest baby, but. I also think it's funny every time how they design the babies.
Indeed.
They're just always so like, I mean they look like ponies, but they're like the eyes are just what would get me every time.
Yeah.
It's like the
Some people get
soulless black
creeped out.
eyes. They just like stare into your soul and steal it for themselves because they don't have one.
Why?
Because there's no soul in those eyes.
Why? Why? No! Look away!
No.
Ah!
That's their master plan.
Yeah, that really, 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 really high-pitched voice.
I'm Applejack.
Yeah.
Oh, no! I'll steal your soul. Say goodnight. And My Little Pony.
I'm dead.
Yeah. R.I.P. Nemesis too soon.
Oh man. I don't think there's much else to talk about. I don't think.
Yeah. You know, there was no Tori Spelling, so
No Tori
it's
Spelling
not going
at
to be
all.
the best episode, but it's
Not
going to
yet.
be.
I'm just hoping because we're getting a 2-week hiatus. I just hope we don't get another bigger hiatus because that would suck.
Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of unknowns coming into this for sure. With having a short season anyway, and we already know it, and it's like, well, then when season 4 and just this and that. Just it's interesting, but at least we're getting content now, so that when the next wave of cons start next month, people will actually have new things to talk about.
Woohoo!
Because it just seemed like at the end of like September when I went to Candlelight Gardens, it was just like, yeah, we've been talking about the same stuff since April. It's just
Yeah, because the staff can just all show up, but they can't really talk about the next season at all.
exactly, yeah.
They're gonna say, "Yeah, it's coming."
That's why the people at New York Comic Con got lucky rather, because they got to hear some kind of things.
Stuff.
But anywho, yeah, I mean, there really isn't much else I think to discuss about this. It was just it was an episode. It was a good one, solid one. Not really any underlying points that I can like think off the top of my head that were really that need to be talked about, except for the whole death thing.
So yeah, we enjoyed it. Hope you guys did too.
And if you didn't, well then, tell us why.
Yeah, we'll tell
in
you
the
how
comments. Yes, there we go.
Yeah, but for now, moving on to fan content, and like I said earlier, I actually have a fan fiction for us for me to talk about. I've been skipping it either out of laziness or because I want to talk about other stuff. But today, I'm talking about a fan fiction that's been out for a long while, but it updates pretty frequently, and it's called "Letters from a Disgruntled Friendship Student." And basically what it does is it takes the episodes as we know them and, takes the letters and basically twists them into this messed up version of Equestria. So if you've seen all the episodes, you'll pretty much know the basics behind it. There's not really a running plot line. It's just each chapter is its own little joke about whatever episode's talking about. And basically it's a twisted version of Equestria where basically Celestia's a jerk, Rarity is a whore, Applejack's an inbred idiot, Dash is a complete idiot, Spike is referred to as fax machine, Pinky's a crack addict, and Fluttershy is there. Which actually isn't that much different. Oh snap, did I go there? But anyway, and Twilight is a sexually frustrated unicorn who just hates everything. It's just basically it takes each episode and twists it into some bizarre, somewhat funny, usually pretty funny, although occasionally like the Tart Swarming Eve chapter kind of went into this weird political rant thing. But some of the chapters are kind of missed. It's like, that's not that really great. But other ones are pretty funny. Sometimes there's times that it feels like the author's kind of relying on old jokes a little bit just to get through it, and other times it works really well. And sometimes you get letters from the other ones, like apparently for the letter for Lesson 0, it's just everyone talking about how much they hate Twilight, and Twilight spends the entire time talking about how much she hates everyone else. Yeah, right now it's up to Dragon Quest, which is episode 21 of season 2, so he's slowly working his way up to season 3, so I'm wondering what's going to finish first, season 3 or this.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, but I recommend you check it out. It's definitely got some foul language and, sexual jokes and whatnot, but it's not like it's a clop fic or anything like that. And I feel really weird saying that, honestly. Yeah, so there's no real running plot or anything. So just read it whenever, chapter, whenever. It's just kind of funny. Some of them kind of miss, but a lot of them still. I honestly do. It's one of my favorites. Whenever I see it updated, I like, yay. Recommend checking it out.
Yeah, I haven't read all the chapters, but I've looked through a couple, and they're amusing. I think a lot of people will enjoy them for sure.
And that's it for the fanfic. However, Four String here has some music.
Oh man, oh god, I sure do. I got 3 songs really quick, and we're gonna do, and I mean really quick. Not really quick in the sense that they're short, although I guess they're not as long as some of the songs I've done in the past. But I'm just gonna talk about them very briefly, so we can keep this moving along. The first song I chose for this week is a song entitled Bag Hag. Parentheses, I didn't put those in my bag, in parentheses, by Sim Gratina.
I didn't put those in my bag.
And I chose this song because that line is fantastic. And
it is.
It really is. And of course, it's a Bon, one of her many voices. But the song itself is pretty becoming of most of Sim's work. Electronic, lots of loud stuff going on there, but with the basis of the I did put those in my bag line. So if you enjoy songs, electronic tunes that have basically just that one line repeated over and over again, and you like said line, then this is gonna be definitely up your alley. I definitely picked it just for the sake of, I think that line's hilarious, or more so the way she says it. So I saw it and I'm like, well, I gotta include this. I can't avoid this. So that's song number 1 for the week. Song number 2 is a song I chose because it seemed interesting. And it was. It's a song called This Power, and it's by Cloud and Kenneth. It's a song about Trixie and Twilight's magic duel, actually, and it's half rap, half sung. So if you're not into rap, this isn't going to be up your alley at all. I guess if you don't like kind of electronic or rock-ish singing, I guess you won't like it either. But that's, I think, a lot less common than people who are like averse to rap for whatever reason. But really nice song. The rapper has a nice flow. So there's a lot of rap songs out there in the pony fandom that are just like, you can't even rap right. Like, come on. But this is good. So I enjoyed that. And if you're into Magic Duel, then you're probably going to enjoy this song from the lyrical standpoint too. So yeah, cool little song. I don't usually do too much rap on this podcast, so figured I'd throw that in there for all of you rap fans out there. Like, hey, check this out, see what you think. And song number 3, originally I went into this week thinking I'd choose some songs that were kind of Christmassy, since tomorrow, as of now, as we're recording, is Christmas. But first of all, there really isn't actually Christmas in Equestria, so that's kind of tough. We do have Hearthswarming Eve, and that's about the closest to Christmas as we're going to get. And Aviators, a very popular musician in the fandom, released his own Hearthswarming Eve song this week, and yeah, you should definitely check it out.
He said he felt his heart leap like it had better sleep with that sparkle in her eyes. He could barely breathe, and so he tells the story of that pink pony who changed his life one heartwarming eve. One heartwarming eve.
It's interesting in that it's definitely a lot more stripped down than Aviator's usual material, which is usually a lot more electronic infused, sometimes very loud, and a lot going on. This is more of a, I don't want to call it acoustic necessarily, but it's a lot quieter. And this the lyrical content, is talking about just a kind of a hearthwarming Eve. It takes place then, and you have these characters, and it's kind of sad in a way, but like it's interesting. And Aviators is a good vocalist, whether he believes it or not. I know he said before, I think on Tumblr or something, that like he didn't have much confidence in his vocal abilities. But hearing a song like this, he's totally good. Like this is, don't be that guy. You're good. Yeah. So I hadn't featured an Aviator song I think in a while, if at all. So I wanted to throw that up there as well. So those are 3 songs for the week, and I hope you enjoy at least one of them, in which case my job is done.
I particularly enjoyed the first one.
Yeah, it's a good time.
It's hard not to, I think.
Yeah.
But actually, I enjoyed the other 2 as well, so that's good.
Cool. Woohoo!
Woo. So that's it for our episode this week. Pretty short. That's what happens when you only got 2 people. Anyway, you can, of course, listen to our other episodes and this one on iTunes. Search for Pony411. You can find us directly on Libsyn, pony411.libsyn.com. You could also hear us on YouTube, youtube.com/pony411. What a shock there. Let's see, we're on Facebook and Twitter at facebook.com/pony411 and at pony411. You can, comment there, comment on Facebook, message, tweet us, talk about whether we like the episode or whatnot. You can email us, pony411podcast@gmail.com. There's also our personal Twitters. I'm at Nemesis Prime 1 and he's at 4String MLP. I believe that's all. There's nothing else I got to hawk to you guys.
Yeah, you should go
Not
follow
until we
us
have
on
t-shirts
things.
or something.
Yeah, about that. You should follow us, and you should tell your friends. And next week's our 20th episode.
Yeah.
Or next episode, assuming we record next week, which I'm sure we'll try. But so cool. I'm sure we'll do nothing exciting for it, but.
Woo.
I mean, we'll to next week, since we don't have a new episode, it'll be the return of our discussion segments that are more...
We do have the Spike at Your Service episode.
Really?
Yeah.
Disregard this. I thought Apple Family Reunion was the last episode.
Nope, this Spike at Your Service is the final episode of the year, and then we got 2 weeks off, and then it's the...
For some reason, I thought it was not until 2013. Nope. Never mind. Next week, we got episode discussion on Spike at Your Service.
Woohoo.
And I don't know what else. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. After that, we'll figure out discussions until we get more episodes. Stuff will happen. Don't worry. I
came up with some stuff at work today, and I promptly forgot all of it. But
maybe it'll come back to you.
We'll see.
Yeah. Anyway, so one of the world's most longest drawn-out goodbyes ever.
Oh, I'm sure we've gone longer before.
Oh, yeah, we have. I've had to cut the goodbyes in half before.
Yeah, that's us. Just start rambling on at the end.
Yep.
Just keep on going and going and going and going
and you're
and
done.
going and going
You're
and
done.
going and
You're
going
done.
and
Stop.
going. 99 buckets of votes on the wall.
You're
99
not Sweetie Belle. Anyway,
Anywho.
we'll see you next week. hopefully. But until then, please remember, please pony responsibly.
Especially over this holiday season.
Especially over this holiday.
Everyone be safe. Be good to each other. Have a Merry Christmas. You already had a Merry Christmas. Have a Happy New Year as well.
Happy Boxing Day, if you're...
And that too,
celebrate
you
that.
Canadians. LOL. I don't know.
Bye, guys.
Adios. Disregard my phone right now. I started feeling it vibrating. I was like, oh, here we go.
Okay.
Anyway,